My dear friend, let me tell you something that can change the entire course of your life. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not outside, it is inside. The true battlefield is not the office, not the street, not the marketplace. It is the battlefield of your mind. Whoever controls the mind controls the direction of their life. Whoever loses control of their mind loses themselves, no matter how much wealth, power, or recognition they might collect along the way. Your mind is the command center of everything you do. Every word you speak, every action you take, every habit you build, every dream you pursue. It all begins as a thought. Thoughts are not just whispers in your head, they are the seeds of your destiny. If you plant seeds of doubt, you will harvest fear. If you plant seeds of faith, you will harvest courage. If you plant seeds of laziness, you will harvest regret. If you plant seeds of discipline, you will harvest success. That is why I say with absolute certainty, control your mind and you will control your life. But let's be honest, controlling the mind is not easy. The mind is like a wild horse, strong, restless, full of energy. But if left uncontrolled, it will run in every direction and eventually throw you off. Most people live their lives being dragged by their minds. They wake up in the morning and immediately let worry, distraction, social media, or the opinions of others decide how they will feel. They are not living, they are being lived. They are not controlling, they are being controlled. And so their days are filled with anxiety, procrastination, and regret. But just imagine if you could take hold of that wild horse, train it, guide it, and direct it towards the finish line of your dreams. Imagine if instead of your mind controlling you, you controlled your mind. That is when life begins to change. That is when you stop being a prisoner of your thoughts and start becoming the master of your destiny.
Now let's dive deeper. What does it actually mean to control your mind? It means three things: discipline, awareness, and choice. Discipline means teaching your mind what to focus on and what to ignore. Awareness means recognizing what is happening inside your head at any given moment. And choice means using your power to direct your mind towards what serves you instead of what destroys you. Let's start with discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is training. Just as a soldier trains every day, just as an athlete trains their muscles, you must train your mind. Without discipline, your mind becomes like an untended garden, full of weeds that choke the flowers. Negative thoughts, fears, and doubts will grow naturally if you don't take care of your mental soil. You must water your mind with positivity. You must remove weeds of fear. You must fertilize it with inspiration, and you must prune it with self-control. Think about it. How many times has your mind tricked you into doing the wrong thing? You knew you had work to finish, but your mind said, let's just watch one more video. You knew you should wake up early, but your mind said, 5 more minutes won't hurt. You knew you should exercise, but your mind said, it's too hard today. And every time you listened, you gave your mind power over you. But when you resist, when you say, no, I am in charge here, that is when you gain strength. Discipline is a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Next comes awareness. Most people are not even aware of what goes on inside their mind. They think they are thinking, but in reality, their thoughts are thinking them. Awareness means pausing and observing. Awareness means asking yourself, what am I thinking right now? Is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is it pushing me towards my goals or pulling me away? This is why practices like meditation, journaling, and reflection are so powerful. They put a mirror in front of your mind. They show you what is really happening inside. Without awareness, you will fight shadows. With awareness, you can see the enemy clearly.
And finally, choice. Life is not about what happens to you. It is about how you respond. You cannot always choose the events of your life, but you can always choose your thoughts about those events. Two people can go through the same situation and one will say, this is the end of me, while the other will say, this is the beginning of something greater. The difference is not the event, the difference is the thought. That is why Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust, wrote, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Your choice of thoughts is your choice of life. Now, let's go deeper into the practical side. How do you control your mind? How do you actually do it? Let me share with you a roadmap step by step. The first step is guard your input. Your mind is like a sponge. Whatever you pour into it, it will absorb. If you spend your time filling it with negativity, gossip, toxic news, and endless distractions, you cannot expect to live a positive life. Garbage in, garbage out. On the other hand, if you fill it with uplifting books, powerful speeches, inspiring people, and meaningful conversations, your mind will naturally become stronger. You must protect your mental diet just as carefully as you protect your physical diet. Would you eat spoiled food every day and expect to stay healthy? Then why do you consume spoiled thoughts every day and expect your mind to be strong? The second step is discipline your focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you focus on problems, problems will grow. If you focus on opportunities, opportunities will grow. Most people allow their focus to be hijacked by distractions, notifications, trivial arguments, endless scrolling. But winners train their focus like a laser. They decide what matters most and they direct their full attention there. This is not easy in today's world where attention is the most valuable currency, but the one who masters focus masters life. The third step is speak to yourself with power. Your mind listens to your words more than anyone else's. If you constantly say, "I can't, I'm tired, I'm unlucky," your mind believes you. But if you say, "I can, I will, I must," your mind also believes you. Words are programming. Every word you say is a command to your subconscious. That is why affirmations, declarations, and self-talk are not just empty exercises, they are mental reprogramming. When you wake up in the morning, do not just check your phone. Tell yourself, "Today I will take control of my mind. Today I will direct my life."
The fourth step is train with discomfort. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Your mind will always seek the easiest path, the safest route, the least resistance. But if you always obey that instinct, you will never grow. You must train your mind to endure discomfort. Wake up earlier than your body wants. Do one more push-up when your muscles are screaming. Study 10 more minutes when your brain says enough. Every time you push beyond comfort, you send a message to your mind. I am in charge, not you. This is how champions are built. The fifth step is visualize your future. Your mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. If you constantly imagine failure, your mind will sabotage you. But if you vividly imagine success, seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, your mind will begin to align with that vision. Athletes use this technique before competitions, soldiers before missions, leaders before speeches. They see the victory before they step into the battle. Visualization is rehearsal for reality. Now, my friend, let me remind you of something important. Controlling your mind does not mean suppressing your emotions. It does not mean becoming a robot. It means becoming the driver of the car, not the passenger. Your emotions are signals, but they are not commands. Fear is a signal. It tells you to prepare. Anger is a signal. It tells you that something needs to change. Sadness is a signal. It tells you that you've lost something important. But signals are not the steering wheel. You can acknowledge them without surrendering to them. Think about water. If water is uncontrolled, it can destroy cities in the form of a flood. But if water is controlled, it can generate electricity, grow crops, and sustain life. The same is true of your mind. Uncontrolled, it can destroy you. Controlled, it can build you into something extraordinary.
Now let me tell you a story. There was once a king who asked his wise advisor, "What is the greatest power in the world?" The advisor replied, "The power of the human mind, because it can turn defeat into victory and weakness into strength." The king laughed and said, "Prove it."
The advisor took the king to a battlefield where soldiers were about to fight. He whispered in one soldier's ear, "You cannot win. You are too weak." The soldier's shoulders dropped, and soon he lost. Then he whispered in another soldier's ear, "You are strong. You are brave. You will win." That soldier fought like a lion and achieved victory. The advisor turned to the king and said, "See, I never touched their swords, but I controlled their minds, and that decided the battle." Every day you are that soldier. Every day there is a battle, and the whisper in your ear is your own thought. What are you telling yourself? That whisper decides your victory or defeat. And here is the greatest truth. You already have everything you need to control your mind. You do not need to buy it. You do not need to borrow it. You only need to practice it. Control is built daily. It is built every time you resist distraction, every time you focus on what matters, every time you speak power into yourself, every time you push past comfort, and every time you visualize your destiny. And when you do this consistently, something magical happens. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. You stop being a victim of your mind and start being the master of your life. Stress will still come, but it will no longer control you. Fear will still come, but it will no longer stop you. Failure will still come, but it will no longer define you. Imagine a life where you wake up in the morning and instead of feeling overwhelmed, you feel calm because you know your mind is under your control. Imagine facing challenges not with panic, but with confidence because you know your thoughts are your allies, not your enemies. Imagine building habits that serve you, relationships that inspire you, and a future that excites you, all because you decided to take control of the most powerful tool you will ever have, your mind. My dear friend, control your mind, and you will control your life. But neglect your mind, and life will control you. The choice is yours. Remember this every morning, every night. Every time you stand at the crossroads of decision, your mind is your kingdom. Protect it, guide it, and rule it. Because if you rule your mind, you will rule your world.
And so, let today be the day you decide. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Today you stop letting fear, doubt, distraction, and negativity run your life. Today you pick up the reins of that wild horse called your mind. Today you become the master. Because once you control your mind, you will control your life. And once you control your life, there is no dream too big, no goal too high, and no obstacle too strong. So rise up, take charge, and remember, the battlefield is inside, the victory is inside, and the reward is a life fully lived. Control your mind, control your life.